Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. I appreciate having you all guys over here. And let's get straight to the reading. Today we're going to do a classic read. So I'll be checking the energy of the Divine Feminine Collective, Divine Masculines, and the energy of the connection itself, of course. But additionally, I will ask a question of what are Twin Flames, each of the twins thinking about the other or towards the other at this time. So this will be about conscious mind. And I'm going to start with an oracle deck, just as usual. I'm back to the Cosmic Journey Oracle today. I feel like there is some, there is a message on the planetary level that we need to hear. And yeah, I've got my Hermit deck here as well, so we'll put some messages between the twins at the end, if there's time. Let's see how it goes. So let's start with an oracle card. If you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to click the like button, to share, subscribe, comment. We'll be doing a couple of special edition readings this week. One on Mars square Venus, which is, well, I wouldn't say they're necessarily the equivalents of divine masculine and feminine, but let's just say it's the masculine and feminine energies. Let's put it that way. That are square to each other. So there's a little bit of a tension there. So we'll see what that means for the twins. And over the weekend, I'll probably do another connection spread. It will be a different one from the previous time, but it will be focused on like the dynamic between the twins. Come on, just give me one card. I'm staying away from the candles today, so hopefully it's not going to be a fire hazard. It's fun using the table though. Okay, we'll do it this way. So for the feminines, we have number 30, trust and act accordingly. Yeah, I think the important part here is not even the trust part, because, that's kind of the default state, right? But it says trust accordingly. So it means when we are in the mindset that whatever comes our way or whatever's going on, in our lives is divinely guided or is there for a good reason. This is like the continuation of that thought, of that sentence, meaning that we're supposed to be active participants still, right? And there is this, that's one of the tough questions of finding balance between going with the flow and, making your contribution, right? This is not to forget about that. Act accordingly means that this is like your background, right? Like this backdrop that I have here, like it's a starting point. It gives you some information, some idea. But then you're supposed to run with it and do something with it, right? Towards your happiness, towards your mission and service to other people. However you see it, what's your dynamic in your relationships, etc., etc. Let's see what we have for the masculines today. Three cards, no, too many. Thank you, finally. So we have card number 16. How can this be a wonderful win-win-win? So another aspect of finding balance, right? So that it's actually beneficial for all the parties involved. And it doesn't feel like one person is winning and another one is making sacrifices and kind of like, yeah, okay, oh well. And again, this is the same concept I was just talking about, where there should be a discernment between going with the flow and there's a difference between going with the flow and sacrificing yourself or people pleasing, right? Huge difference. And this is part of the learning, part of the ascension process, to see that in specific life situations. of where sometimes we may tell ourselves that, oh, we're just going with the flow, whatever. But in fact, we are either, setting ourselves up for failure or getting hurt, or we're just like, okay, this is just the easy way out because I don't want to, I don't want this person giving me a lot of trouble. So that may seem like a win-win-win, but is it really? Okay, interesting start of a conversation. Let's see what we have with tarot today. And I brought the after tarot for the clarification, so yeah. Let's see what we have for the divine feminine energy. To me, the after tarot is kind of bringing a bit of a vibe of, so like the tarot is kind of like the energy in the moment, and the after tarot clarification would be like what kind of value it has for the future events, for what's coming. Ace of Wands for divine feminines. Yeah, baby. What do we have for the masculines? And that's actually it's actually very much connected, sorry guys, connected with this card, because act accordingly, especially with that emphasis. That's exactly what this is. It's about action, taking action. For masculines, we got two major arcanas. We have High Priestess and the Hermit card. And we'll pull some clarifiers. It's still in the Virgo energy. Hermit is Virgo energy. So it's almost like I'm getting immediately that divine masculines are both of these cards actually are feminine energy, if anything, right? It's about kind of internal conversation. And I think the Mercury retrograde is really pushing DMs into that area. Even if they're used to being always in public, always in, among people and getting things done, like, rocking it. Now it's more about internal, and that's where they're seeing where some of the decisions they're making, is it like they're analyzing, they're considering, is it a win-win-win or not really? Okay, we have Three of Cups here for the connection. And what are the twins thinking towards each other? What are divine feminines thinking towards divine masculines? Nine of Cups. And from divine masculines, we get King of Swords. Okay. Please clarify Ace of Wands for the feminines. The Hierophant. Please clarify High Priestess and the Hermit for the masculines. Eight of Cups. Please clarify Three of Cups for the connection. It also has three fishes here. I just noticed it now. Four of Swords. Please clarify Nine of Cups. Ace of Cups. Nice. Please clarify King of Swords. Not Zero of Cups and Page of Wands. Okay. Okay. So maybe some bitter truth in the message today, but it means it was important for us to hear it and to act on it, right? So for the feminines, we have Ace of Wands clarified by the Hierophant. So yeah, the divine feminine is asked to step into the leadership role, right, at this time, right? This is like, and that's what that's how I'm taking it, at least as a reader, at least in this reading today, that this is how it's going to impact the future. So acting now is going to be instrumental in getting towards that position of leadership, of a light worker in service, of a leader in the community, even of an influencer, if you wish, in the positive connotation of that word. So there is a momentum now energetically and also with certain 3D circumstances, and you be the judge of that, of what it means for your story specifically. But it's important not to miss this opportunity, this window of opportunity, and act accordingly. And you know the drill. If you don't know what it means, what I'm supposed to do, okay, the throat chakra is playing up. Ask the question, ask for help, ask for a sign, ask the higher power. If you're just hesitating, this is, and I'm feeling like some people maybe hesitating speaking the truth, or talking about their next steps. This is the time, baby. No time like right now. For the masculines, we got the High Priestess and the Hermit energy clarified by Eight of Cups. Very watery energy, I would say. Well, I mean, this is Earth, but yeah, still intuitive, still feminine. And what this, I already started talking about the analysis that the DMs are doing, the introspection of how they feel about the choices they've made or they're making, reconsidering whether it was a good idea or not, and whether it was a win-win-win. When they were trying to do the good thing, but maybe it wasn't that great after all, because they stayed in the wrongful situation for longer than they were supposed to leave. And I'm not saying it's exactly the karmic situation, although for the majority, I'm hearing for majority of DMs, it is directly connected with a karmic situation, whether it's a person, a job, some circumstances, right? It could be even an addiction that they are fighting. So whatever it was, like they realized they stayed in a situation longer than they should have. And it's golden because that's the first step towards walking away from it. That's why addiction came to my mind, right? Because it's like acceptance is the first step, right? This is the first step, acceptance. And then you can walk away. Then you can take specific action towards that win-win-win and leave behind the worries. And in this deck, it also has like the cups, the spilled cups have water, and they also have blood, if you can see. Maybe it's wine, but to me it looks like blood. So it means like, what I'm getting from this is DMs have struggled through a lot of pain through this situation, through this karmic situation. And they realized that they didn't have to, like it wasn't even that useful, like it was for nothing. They were thinking they were investing in something long-term, in something that will transform into something better, like we are hopeful when we start something new, whether it's a relationship or a project, a job, like anything. And there was a lot of hope there, a lot of investment of like, yeah, I really believe in this. And now they see that they've actually, they like, it's almost like it was already obvious, at that point in time that it's not gonna work, that sort of idea. But I still stayed and, suffered more than I should have. And the thing is that with the with this kind of arrangement, it's actually not very kind to the other person as well, or whoever else is involved. And even if it's a business venture, it may be it may be, I'm trying to see the opposite word of beneficial. It may be harmful to that project as well if you stayed longer but you shouldn't have, right? And there are all kinds of scenarios possible there, but take it how it resonates for you. But if you're a cross watcher, like this is the concept of what the DM is going for, and for each story, of course, it will be something different. For the connection space, we have Three of Cups clarified by Four of Swords. Oof, yeah. So this is this is collaboration, this is friendship, and this is spending time with other people. And you would say, well, how is that? And I'm not saying DM and DF necessarily. Even if it's even if it's a group of people, it doesn't mean that both twins are part of that group. But it's each twins with the group. And you would ask, how is it impacting the connection exactly? Because the twins are able to to get some clarity and get some peace of mind on certain topics. Either it's because they will, they're supposed to take it lighter and relieve some, some resistance or anger or fear. It could be one of the scenarios of why it's important to let go and kind of lighten up about it. And these kind of situation, you see they have glasses, so for some it will be a party, maybe, a birthday party, something else going on, maybe just an outing with friends. It's that sort of setting that helps to relax, to chill, and to think about the situation from a different angle, or at least zoom out of it and see it's possible that it wasn't as bad as it felt at the time, right? So it's kind of like bringing that that light energy, that energy of fun, of spending time with friends, of friendly support, to be able to get into the space of peace, of comfort in a good way, right? Being able to rest and recharge. Because if something is bothering you, that kind of anxious mind is keeping you alert all the time, really. And it's exhausting on its own. So it's almost like, you're wasting part of your, it's almost like if it's a device that a battery operated device that you don't turn off, right? Eventually, and pretty quickly actually, it's gonna die if you don't save the battery. And the same here. So you're wasting your battery life, your energy on that stuff and that anxiety. It's important to let it go for both of the twins. And that will create, and you see actually in this Four of Swords, we have two people. And to me, they are a feminine and masculine figure, actually. So it will open up doors to communication between twins. And guess what? Some of that anxiety that needs to be released is connected with the connection anyway. Other stuff is connected with other things. But as long as that anxiety manifests, it's bringing down the energy vibe, the frequency, and it's preventing the twins from having healthy communication. And we have Mercury retrograde, just saying, right? So this will open up the doors to some fruitful communication between the twins, something that will be productive and peaceful and kind. Okay, what do divine feminines think of towards divine masculines right now? Beautiful cards here. Nine of Cups, clarified by Ace of Cups. And of course, I love that the Ace of Cups has a card in this deck. So I'm getting that the feminines realize that part of unconditional love is letting DM do what they feel is right for them. Chase their dreams, whatever they feel it is, right? Kind of let the situation flow in this case. And this is gonna bring in more unconditional love into the situation and will nurture both of the twins and the connection itself. Because that's really what it's supposed to be, right? It's the freedom, giving the person freedom, not asking for too much, not keeping them in the bottle, like genie in the bottle, This is letting the genie out. This is freeing them. Remember, it was like in any of the versions of the stories, it's one of the ways to free the genie, like a conscious intention of the master, right? Like, I'm setting you free. You're free now. Does it mean does it mean that you won't have your wishes, come true? You won't be able to ask genie for it? Possibly. It'll be up to them then. And it's scary, right? If you don't have that kind of control. So it's releasing some level of control right now. But essentially the thought behind it is that DM is supposed to make their own decisions and they're supposed to have their freedom and their space. And it's a very healthy thought. Also, not a very easy conclusion. And as much as we talk about it and we know that's the way to go, it's a lot harder to implement that in real life when it comes to, again, specific situations where, of course, we want clarity, we want control, we want communication, we want attention. And divine masculines towards feminines, we have the thoughts. We have King of Swords, clarified by Three of Cups and Page of Wands. Yeah, so DMs, because they're doing that analysis, they are in this state of like, I'd like to keep things true and, I'd like to be fair to you, divine feminines, with how we are. And to me, this means if I can't provide a happy life to you, I'd rather not be in the picture at all. I need to deal with my own stuff. I need to walk away from my unhealthy, unfruitful situations. And then I'll be able to create this environment of fun and celebration and happiness for you, because that's what you deserve. And I know that. That's being fair to you. I don't want to drag you into what's going on in my life right now, because I'm still uncertain myself of how to solve it, or what's the best way, or how to keep myself sane and wise through all of this. Okay, this was pretty powerful. I think I'm gonna leave it here for today. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.